All right, so you may have noticed that my setup is a little different, right? I'm filming in my living room instead of my bedroom. So let me know what you think. You know, I actually kind of like it. It's different. And my big red couch here is proof that minimalism doesn't have to be black and white. You know, it's a big red couch. But that's not why we're here. We're here to celebrate this 5,000 subscriber milestone that we've just crossed. And this community is still growing. It's surprising me each and every day. And when I think about it, there are double the amount of people a part of this community than the number of people that I went to college with. And to me, that is crazy. It's crazy. But like I said, I love this community. I love the conversations that we have in the comment section. I love the relationships that we're building, the support that we show one another. And I'm definitely excited to answer these questions that you've asked me. I've read through them. There are some really great questions in here, and I'm excited to answer them. If I mispronounce your name, please forgive me. I'm not the best with names, but I'm going to do my best. And this video is just going to be a little more relaxed than usual. So you'll get to know me through my personality as well. So let's jump right into it. The first question that I have is from Georgia Ann. I hope I said that right. The question is, did you have a lot of extra stuff growing up? Maybe too much stuff growing up? Or did you have only what you needed? Love the videos. Thank you. I'm glad you love the videos. So did I have a lot of extra stuff, or did I only have what I needed? To answer that question, I would say both. And I want to start my answer by saying that my parents always provided my brother and I with everything that we needed. We never went without. They sacrificed a lot to make sure that we had what we needed and were taken care of. So I want to make sure that comes out first when I answer this question, because I'm very grateful for them. But in addition to that, as kids, we did have a lot of extra stuff. We were spoiled sometimes. Christmas was a big deal with us as kids. So we were spoiled in that way, but we were still taught the value of things and the value of hard work. So I don't want that to come across as the wrong way, but we did have a lot of extra stuff. And but we did also have everything that we needed, and were provided everything that we needed. So great question. I appreciate that question. Okay. The next question is from 𝗫𝗍𝗄𝗎𝗍 or 𝗫𝗍𝗄𝗎𝗍, whichever one. I hope I said that right. But the question is it's a three-part question. So the question is, where are you from and live? Does your childhood and how you grew up is one of the reasons why you chose minimalism? And then the third question is, how do you influence or help your family and friends that are close to you go to minimalist and not spend money on necessary things without pressuring them? Okay, so the first question is, where am I from and where do I live? So I'm originally from Illinois. If you're familiar with the Midwest and you know where Six Flags Great America in Gurnee, Illinois is, I'm from that area. I'm from the town over from Waukegan, Illinois. So that's where I'm from. But I currently live in Wisconsin. I went to a private college here in Wisconsin. My job is here in Wisconsin. So this is where I currently live. Now, the second question that you had is, does my childhood and how I grew up, was that one of the reasons why I chose to become a minimalist? No, it was not. The reasons why I chose to become a minimalist was because I wanted to reinvent myself. I wanted a new challenge in life. And then I thought that I had too much stuff because of what I've accumulated over my life. But my childhood did not play a role in that. I was taught a lot of valuable things as a kid, so it didn't pressure me to want to have less when I got older. Not at all. So the third question is, how do you influence or help your friends and family that are close to you go to minimalist and not spend money on unnecessary things without pressuring them? So how do I motivate and encourage others basically to become a minimalist if I do? I usually encourage them through my actions. My friends and my family, they don't really ask me a lot of questions, but sometimes when we have conversations, I express the value that I'm receiving from living a simplified life and decluttering all of the access in my life and not purchasing unnecessary things and being wasteful with my money. So I really show that or inspire them or motivate them through my actions. And actually, my dad was talking the other week, and he told me that he donated 20 or so pairs of his jeans and some of his old neckties that he's no longer wearing. So he's definitely gravitating towards this lifestyle a little bit. He told me that he's going to work on his shoe collection now. So that's pretty cool. But Not at all. I'm not pressuring anybody that's in my life, in my personal life, to become a minimalist. This is how I chose to live my life. And if they have questions, I'm always willing to answer them. Great question. Okay, moving on. Sandra. What's up, Sandra? So Sandra has 3 questions. She wants to know, which countries would you like to visit and why? The second question is, what do you do to be inspired and motivated to achieve your professional and personal goals without feeling lazy or procrastinating or insecure? And then her last question is, who is your role model? Okay, so which countries would I like to visit and why? I would love to go to Barcelona, Spain. I would love to go to Australia, Brazil, Egypt, to name a few. Reasons why, I was always interested in traveling, and I haven't traveled outside the country yet, primarily because I'm focused on becoming debt-free. That is another piece of my journey that I've yet to share with you all, but I'm also on a debt-free journey. But once that piece of my journey is complete and I am debt-free, I would love to travel, love to explore, embrace other cultures, submerge myself into other cultures, just to learn and see what else is out there besides what I've already experienced. So that's my real reason why I would love to go to these different places. Your second question is, how do I inspire and motivate myself to achieve my personal and professional goals? I would say growing up as an athlete, I've always played sports, basketball, football, I ran track and field. I've always played sports. Growing up as an athlete, I've developed a competitive mentality, of self-driven and self-motivated mentality. And that gives me a little bit of an advantage, I would say. But outside of that, I really motivate myself and inspire myself by always looking at what my end goal is. Sometimes, I'm just like you guys. I'm human. I make mistakes. I get pulled off course sometimes, right? But I always remind myself of what my end goal is. And in doing that, it helps me to stay focused, helps me to stay motivated. It helps to inspire me to continue down the path that I'm going down. So in regards to this debt-free journey that I'm on, it's tough sometimes. It's tough not to spend the extra money that you have at the end of the month when you can throw in at debt, right? But I always remind myself, my girlfriend is on this journey with me. We always remind ourselves of what our end goal is, and that helps to motivate us and inspire us to continue down this debt-free path, so that way we can become debt-free and then explore and do all of the things that we want to do. Then, great question. And then your last question is, who is my role model? It's a really great question. My role model would be my younger brother. He is 3 years younger than me. He is an officer in the United States Army. I'm extremely proud of him for that. Grateful for everything that he does. But the reason he's my role model is, growing up, we've always been very close. We have that brotherly love, that brotherly connection. But every time I set a bar, he pushes past it and he sets another bar. And then that inspires me and motivates me to then push even harder, to motivate myself even more, to then set another bar for him to break again. So it's a very unique dynamic between us. It's not a competitive dynamic by any means. I'm very and extremely proud of him for everything that he does and all of the goals that he sets and achieves. And I know he's extremely proud of me for all of the goals that I have for myself that I set and achieve. But we do have this dynamic where if I set the bar, I know he's going to push to pass it. And when he sets that next bar, I'm going to push to set another one for him to chase after. So yeah, he's my role model. If you see this, little bro, I love you. Keep doing what you're doing. Next question is from Katie. What's up, Katie? So Katie wants to know, I would definitely love to know your aha moment when things clicked for you that life would be okay without all of the stuff. Also, why did you choose to donate and not sell? I'm struggling. I have so much stuff to get rid of, and I'm okay with letting go, but I feel I should sell to make some money. Okay, great questions. So first question is, what was my aha moment? Wow, my aha moment wasn't really an aha moment per se. It was more so just a decision that I woke up one morning and made. And if you haven't seen my video, where do I start? I'll make sure to leave a link to it so you can go ahead and watch that if you haven't seen it. But in that video, I talk about me starting this journey and making that decision to let go of this Mr. Smooth phase of my life, right? And Mr. Smooth was this nickname that I got in high school, and just it carried through college and even still to today, even though I've let go of that. But I made a decision one day just to say, you know what, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the nickname, the baggage that comes with this nickname, trying to uphold this persona when it's not really me. I was tired of that. So I just made the decision to say, hey, I don't want to pursue this anymore. I don't want to hold on to this nickname anymore. I don't want to have this lifestyle or project this false image of me anymore. So you know what? It's time to make a change. And I guess my aha moment was making that decision to let go of those things. So yeah. And then your other question was, why did I choose to donate and not sell? I did sell a few things. I sold some furniture pieces actually early on in my journey. Some pieces that were in good enough condition to sell. But really, when I made a decision to start letting go, for me, it was just to let go of everything that was of Mr. Smooth and who Mr. Smooth was, and to have a fresh start, to reinvent myself. And it wasn't on my mind to really sell any of those pieces. That wasn't what I wanted to get out of it. I didn't want to make money from the extra things that I had. I just wanted to let go of that piece of my life, that phase of my life, and then start over and reinvent myself, right? But in hindsight, yes, I could have sold a few things. I just chose not to. Next question is from the 𝗪𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗪1988. They want to know, you seem to have figured out a lot so much at a young age. I appreciate that. That's a compliment. Thank you. What was your biggest aha moment? Okay. And was there a time or a moment that made you stop and make changes? So again, a very similar question to Katie's question. My aha moment wasn't really an aha moment, but it was just that decision that I made for myself that, look, I don't want to hold on to this Mr. Smooth phase. I don't want to keep projecting this image. I'm ready to reinvent myself. I made that decision, and then I immediately took action, and here we are. Great question. Okay, moving on. This question is from Breno. I hope I said that right, my man. Forgive me if I mispronounced it, but hey, dude, your content is amazing. I appreciate that. Thank you. Please tell us, what was the biggest difficulty during your journey till here and what you did to overcome it? Okay, my biggest difficulty, wow, threw me off. So my biggest difficulty would probably be when I started to declutter or let go of some of the relationships and friendships that I had in my life. From this Mr. Smooth persona that I had and nickname that I had, and the number of years that I associated myself with that, I accumulated a lot of friendships and relationships. And when I made a decision to let go of that, it was hard for me at first to let go of some of the relationships that I built through that, or the social aspect of that, right? It was cool having the friends. It was cool having the people around, the people to hang out with, the people to talk to randomly. But when I made a decision to let go of that Mr. Smooth phase in my life, because that was no longer who I wanted to be, how I wanted to act, and the things that came along with that no longer added value to me, I had to realize that maybe some of those friendships that I built because of that phase of my life weren't best for me now. So letting go of that was a challenge. I've worked through it by just kind of being honest with myself, just saying, hey, I'm no longer Mr. Smooth. I don't want to be associated with Mr. Smooth or who Mr. Smooth was. And if that friendship was associated with that person, then that may not be the best friendship for me now. So it's just honesty, really self-honesty was how I got through that and how I overcame that. Really great question. I appreciate it. Okay, moving on. Paula has a question for me. Congratulations, Ron. Thank you, Paula. Paula wants to know, what have you learned during your minimalist process? And then the second question is, how has your life changed after decluttering? So what have I learned? I've learned two very important things. And I actually mentioned this in a recent video that I posted. And the two things that I've learned on this journey so far for me is, one, you cannot stay the same forever. Yes, you cannot stay the same forever. And the second thing is that self-honesty equals freedom. A lot of times as humans, right, if we're honest with ourselves, it's hard to be honest, right? And sometimes it's hard, it's hard to accept the truth from other people when someone tells you how it is, just like it is, straightforward, blunt, no sugarcoating. It's hard to accept that, but it's even harder to accept the truth and to hear the truth from yourself. And when I made the decision to be completely honest with myself and stop lying to myself about the silliest of things just to feel good or just to hear what I wanted to hear, that really made a shift in my mindset and the way that I approached my life and the decisions that I made. And then your second question was, Paula, was how have my life changed after decluttering? Well, I'm not really complete with my decluttering journey yet. This journey, I believe, is going to be an ongoing process through my life. And I believe it's the same for you and your journey. But I've learned a lot so far, a whole lot about myself, about what I value, about how I want to live my life, about the decisions that I want to make for my life. But I think that if you were to ask me that question, this question 5 years from now, I would have a more in-depth answer to give you, because I'm still learning on this journey and I'm still exploring myself and experimenting on this journey as well. But so far, I've learned a whole heck of a lot, and I'm excited about what I'm going to learn next and what's going to change next on my journey. So really great question. I appreciate it. Okay, moving on. Question is from Champ. Ron, congratulations, bro. I'm proud of you. You're killing it. Keep it up. Thank you. I appreciate the love and the support also. So the question is, who or what are your favorite minimalist channels or content creators on YouTube? And then the second question is, how has your family or loved ones reacted to your minimalist lifestyle and journey? Okay, the first question, who are my favorite minimalist creators on YouTube and then content creators in general? So in the minimalist niche on YouTube, I really like Sarah from Abundantly Minimal. Of course, who doesn't like Sarah? She is absolutely awesome. And I'm sure many of you have found my channel through her channel from the collab video that we did together. So she is absolutely awesome. Other creators that I like, or minimalist creators that I like, would be Nathaniel Drew on YouTube. He is a really great creator. I'm not sure if he presents himself as a minimalist per se, but he's really big on intention and life experiments, and he's a really cool creator. And then also Matt D'Avella. Who doesn't like Matt D'Avella? He's an awesome filmmaker. His videos are like mini documentaries, and it just kind of draws you in. So he's really dope. And then also just in general, content creators in general, there's way more to me than just this minimalist lifestyle and minimalist approach to life. Obviously, I love writing poetry. If you've seen some of my old poetry videos here on my channel, you know that about me. So I love writing poetry, so I do follow some poetry channels and poets on YouTube as well. I'm also into the creative space in general, so photography, design, different things like that. So I follow some channels. I'm trying to teach myself a little bit about that. That is an interest of mine outside of writing and poetry. And then also I'm in the fitness space, right? I've done track and field. I've played football, I've played basketball. I've done the heavyweight lifting and the training for those sports. But now I'm challenging myself in more so the calisthenics realm of things, and body weight strong and body weight strength training. And so I follow a couple channels in that space as well, learning some different techniques and training techniques to strengthen myself, my body, with solely my body weight. So those are the different content creators and different people that I follow here on YouTube. It's a really great question. And then your second question is, how has your family and loved ones reacted to your minimalist lifestyle and journey? They've reacted well for the most part. I mean, no one really has anything negative to say. This is just how I chose to live my life and my journey and what I've decided to do for me. So if someone did have something negative to say, I probably wouldn't care. But for the most part, no one has anything negative to say. They're all supportive of it. I've mentioned before, like my dad is also on his journey. His journey. He's donating some things that he has. My girlfriend has donated some things that she has. My younger brother, he's always been very intentional with his relationships and things that he keeps in his life. So everybody's supportive of it. No one really has anything negative to say. My friends, they're cool with it. I mean, it's how I chose to live my life. So no one really has anything negative to say about it. It's a great question though. Really appreciate it. All right. So my next question is from Shanique. I think I said that right. Shanique Rose. I hope I did. So her question is, what was your biggest motivation when becoming a minimalist? It's a great question. I think the best way to answer that question is by giving you my 3 reasons why. So I wanted to reinvent myself. I wanted a new challenge in life. And then thirdly and lastly, I felt that I had too much physical things in my life, mental clutter as well, and emotional clutter. So reinventing myself, letting go of this Mr. Smooth phase of my life, a new challenge in life. I'm no longer a collegiate athlete and running track and field at that level. The year after I graduated from college, I did continue to run track and long jump at track meets and pursuing that next level in athletics, but I just didn't have the drive like I thought that I would. So I wanted a new challenge, and this was one of those challenges that I chose. And then, like I said, I had too much stuff, physical, mental, and emotional clutter. Great question. Okay, next question is from Aaron. And Aaron wants to know, you are awesome. It's great to be on this mindful journey with you. Thank you, Aaron. I really appreciate that. You're awesome too. So her question is, what's your favorite physical possession? I'm curious. Wow. My favorite physical possession. It's an interesting question. I don't think I have a favorite physical possession. There are things that I like using. Obviously, my camera, my MacBook. I'm a very creative mindset, a driven person, so I use those things often. But a possession of mine that I would say I still have sentiments of value to, or still hold sentiments of value for me, would be my track spikes and my track jersey. Mainly because track and field has played a huge part in my life, in shaping how I think, how I act. It's challenged me not only physically with running, but also mentally. So those possessions of mine hold value to me, but they're not necessarily, I wouldn't call them my favorite possessions per se. Really great question. I appreciate it. Okay, moving on. Kaylon, I think I said that right. So she wants to know, yay, congratulations, Ron. Thank you. What's happiness for you? Wow. Okay. What's happiness to me? Happiness is doing what I love to do with my life, regardless of what anyone has to say or think about it. Happiness to me is spending time, quality time with the people that I love the most. Happiness is having control over my life, and not allowing others to dictate how I live my life and the decisions that I make. Happiness is feeling free, right, in all aspects of my life. It's definitely more than just this physical smile that you see when I make these videos. It's when I smile in my heart and when I can smile in my mind, because I'm gonna get deep when you really hear. It's easy for us to fake this thing right here, right? It's really easy to fake this, right? Right now I look I look very happy, but it could be fake, right? But when I'm happy in my heart and in my mind, that's when I truly feel the happiest and when happiness occurs for me. So it's more than just this. It's a smile in here and a smile up here as well. So it's a really great question. I appreciate that one. All right. So moving on. This next question is from Chris. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, so forgive me. Hi, Ron. Congratulations. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I would like to know what your favorite holiday destination is and what makes that place great. So I've never actually traveled anywhere for the holidays. I would love to, obviously, but I'm on this debt-free journey. That's my main focus. And then all of that will come after that. But my holiday destination, my favorite destination would probably just be with my parents. I'm really big on family. I love spending time with them. So I'm always with them for the holidays, regardless of what holiday it is. So that would be my favorite place, just because family is a big deal for me. So yeah, right now it's with my parents. I appreciate the question. Thank you. Okay, next question. JK, what's the biggest mistake you made in life that taught you the biggest lesson? By the way, congratulations, sir. You're a rock star. Thank you, JK. Okay. Oh, wow. You threw me off for a second. I'm gonna read again. What was the biggest mistake you made that taught you the biggest lesson? Wow. Okay. Wow. The biggest mistake. Wow. I don't think that I necessarily have a mistake that I've made that I would label as my biggest mistake. Just because I know that I'm going to continue to make mistakes. Making mistakes is a part of learning, and I'm learning and growing on this journey. So I know there are going to be other mistakes that I make, but just to name a few mistakes that I would change if I could. No, I take that back. I probably wouldn't change them because that would affect where I am now on my journey. But some of the mistakes that I made would probably be allowing people to take advantage of my niceness and walking over me when I was younger. That was definitely a mistake. Could have stood up for myself a little bit more in my younger years. Another mistake would probably be going into student loan debt. In hindsight, I probably wouldn't have done that, but I'm making strong progress on that debt. So I probably wouldn't change that. And then another mistake would probably be, wow, man, it's a deep question. Wow. probably putting too much value in the friendships that I had and trusting people too quickly. Like I said, I was taken advantage of often. So, yeah, that's a great question. I'm going to think about that. I may do a video just about some of the biggest mistakes that I've made, not only on this minimalist journey, but in life in general. Just so I have some time to really think about it, because I don't want to sit here in silence for 30 minutes thinking about it now. That would make this video too long. So really great question. And I think that is all of the questions. Yes, that's all the questions that I have. Again, I really appreciate all of you who are a part of this community, who are new to this community, and who have been rocking with me on this community since the beginning. It means the world to me. We're still growing, and I can't wait to continue to grow and continue to grow with you on this journey. We're all on our individual paths, right? And we're growing as individuals, but we're definitely growing together in this community, and we're supportive of one another. And that is just awesome to me. And I can't wait to make future videos. I'm excited. And before I get out of here, I have a question for you. I would love to start sharing more of my poetry here on this channel. I also write spoken word poetry, and I haven't posted a poem since the Black Boy poem. And I've written some new things. Maybe I would post a new poem maybe every other week or so, but I would love to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section down below if you would like to see some more of my poetry posted here as well. But as always remember to stay true to you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.